Hi friends, we students of Natural Science Department KUCTE Kulakada are going to give a brief description about International Day of Education. Education is the most powerful weapon for the humankind. A certain number of people is lucky enough to be educated without any difficulties or obstacles. Some others must work to make ends meet. Some others struggles to survive life in a war zone, and others they live in remote or undeveloped areas. Regardless to any living condition, all people have a right to education. The right to education is enshrined in Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The declaration calls for free and compulsory elementary education. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 24th January as International Day of Education in celebration of the role of education for peace and development. International Day of Education will be visualized to proclaim that education comes under the basic needs of every person. The UN General Assembly has made it possible to reach its message to every corner of the world and reflected a clear impact. It also sounds the betterment and welfare that education keeps inside itself. An educated individual, a civilized individual, and hence a civilized society, blessed with opportunities and optimism. The first and the foremost significance to commemorate this day is that education is essential for the success of all sustainable goals. Hence, this day works as an umbrella that shelters and covers many other motives of the United Nations, and the message conveyed through this day has a wide range of effects and authorities.
International Day of Education is an annual international observance day held on January 24 and is dedicated to education. On December 3, 2018, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution proclaiming January 24 as International Day of Education in celebration of the role of education for bringing global peace and sustainable development. Thereafter, on 24th January 2019, the first International Day of Education was celebrated. Education is a human right, a public good, and a public responsibility. International Day of Education 2020 celebrated globally around the theme of learning for people, planet, prosperity, and peace. This theme highlights the integrated nature of education, its humanistic aims, as well as its centrality to our collective development ambitions. In the current year 2021, the third International Education Day is being celebrated on Monday, 25th January, due to a holiday on Sunday, 24th January. The theme of International Day of Education 2021, proclaimed by the UNESCO, is Recover and Revitalize Education for the COVID-19 Generation. The purpose of the 2021 theme is to strengthen and welcome the revival of education.
Education is a human right, a public good, and a public responsibility. The United Nations aim to spread education that is included in the basic needs and privileges and in turn human responsibilities and duties. International Day of Education is a determination that on this day we should promise with ourselves and with this universe that education is the only weapon that cannot bleed us when we are undefensive, and in order to counterattack we must educate our people. This decisiveness will ultimately make us economically, financially, and regionally strong enough to dominate without threats of a downfall. So, we conclude our presentation with a famous quote of Chinese philosopher Confucius, that is, education breeds confidence, confidence breeds hope, hope breeds peace. Thank you.